Do you really think it's a good idea to kick people off of any platform? Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions on the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
Alrighty, Mike. Let's pull it on us.
Yeah, we're going to pull
Yes.
the pin on ourselves.
Well, we're not going to pull the pin on us. Somebody might.
Yeah. No, I wanted to talk to some friends of mine said that they truly believe that certain or some media outlets are trying to silence conservatives, mainly Republicans, but they said conservatives. And I wanted to see get your viewpoint on that, there, Jim.
So with my limited knowledge, because I don't work for any of those media companies.
Just by what you see, or maybe you've even experienced or someone close to you experienced it.
Well, I mean, because I don't watch those media outlets, that's kind of hard for me to weigh in what they think. But it's been obviously widely talked about before, even before recently. What Alex Jones got booted off of everything in the world. I don't call him conservative, but he clearly didn't conform to what somebody wanted to hear, right? So it is happening, isn't it?
Well, what's happening? That people being booted off or banned from media outlets?
Yes. So we can agree that people are being removed. So there is no argument there, right?
Right.
So the question is, who is being removed?
Right. And is it, I'm sure someone out there be able to say, well, they just banned Twitter, just banned this left-wing nut, and I'm like, okay, all right, but that's not what we're talking about.
Right. And I think this even made it to the House floor. Do you remember that? The House floor listed a bunch of people, conservative outlets, that were being banned because this very topic did come up.
Oh, well, a conservative outlet was being banned?
Well, I don't know. When you say outlet, you're talking about media?
Yeah, it could be a social media or whatever.
Well,
doesn't matter.
Right off the bat, we could talk about Parler. Parler is supposed to be a conservative alternative to Twitter.
Right.
Now they've already reported Twitter and who's the other one?
Facebook.
Wow. Facebook. They were all working together against Parler. But who owns Twitter? Or not Twitter's? My gosh. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I'm just lost at the company, whichever company it was. But they were working together, and Parler is Twitter's competition.
Yeah.
It's a conservative competition. And Parler's completely shut down. I know Amazon was hosting them.
Yeah, now I did hear that, but Parler is shut down now?
Yeah, you go to the website. You can't even, it's shut down. It's been shut down.
Wow.
And you know what they tried to say? They tried to say it was Parler was coordinating all this stuff for Trump and all this, but they already have evidence. I mean, literal evidence. Like, you can literally go on Twitter. It's not like it's hard. They have evidence that all of that stuff was organized through Twitter. Nothing was organized through Parler. But that was their excuse when the whole assault on the Capitol. That was what they used as their 9/11, to go after these companies that disagree with them. So I'm going to contest something to you, Mike, because I know it's not the exact topic, but I don't believe they're going after conservatives. I think they're going after people who don't think like them. That happens to be conservatives, but I think you can broaden that out to some other areas.
I would say so, because you can throw Alex Jones in there.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It's not just about conservatives. I think conservatives may want to grab this torch and play the victim right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think conservatives are the victim. I think the victims are the people who don't agree with them.
Who are not stepping lockstep in line, whatever they say, with
Right.
their agenda.
Right. And we know this because we're a bunch of anti-establishment fools, because we've seen it. But the establishment is who's calling the shots. The establishment is the big guys with the money. It's the people who look at us little peons as not important. And they're the ones that own these companies.
Right. So do you you kind of agree with it then.
I agree conservatives are being censored. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do agree with it, and I agree with it only because they're the group that doesn't agree with the establishment.
Okay.
Like I think if left wing true libertarians were to speak up, or if they're if they were to speak up against the establishment, they would be in the mix too.
Probably if they had a following.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
if we had 2 subscribers, they'll probably they'll probably ban us as well.
Well,
Because we have a large following.
and I'm glad you bring that up because we don't have one right now. I mean, but
Right.
when that happens, I need everybody out there. If you're watching on YouTube, you need to subscribe on Rumble too, because YouTube is part of this. YouTube is part of the establishment. They've got a lot of money in the game. They don't want competition, and they are censoring people. And all veterans don't think alike. So we're going to have veterans on here that completely disagree with what the establishment agrees, and when they hear that, they're going to have an excuse to say, "Oh, we can't hear that. That's hate speech. You're inciting a riot. You're doing something we don't agree with."
Well, that's just protecting their brand as well, though, right? Now, if it's just someone spouting out a different political view or whatever, and we don't like what you're saying, we're going to cut you off. I have an issue with that. But I have to go back to saying it's a company. They should be able to do whatever they want to do. You get what I'm saying?
And I do agree with you because I do believe in the open market. I believe in all that stuff. The free market. The problem it always comes back to that 230 thing. It comes back to these people are making money off of you. You're the product, so don't be fooled. They're making money because of you, and now they're telling you what you can and cannot say. And on top of that, if they don't like what you say, they're not supposed to edit because they're protected from you suing them.
Right.
But what they're doing by censoring you is editorial. They're saying, we don't like what you're saying, so we are going to censor you. That should not be protected.
I don't see a problem with it.
What do you mean you don't see a problem?
No, I don't see a problem with the company saying, "Hey, we don't like what you guys are talking about. You're not going to be able to put that on our platform."
You don't have a problem with them silencing you?
No.
While they're protected? Like, I don't see a problem with them silencing you. If I start an app and it's my place, like let's take it and make it a physical thing.
Okay.
If you come to my house, okay, my house is Twitter, and we're all in my house talking, and you come in talking about something I don't like, I can ask you to leave.
Right.
Not a problem with that. But if I ask you to leave and I kick you out of a public place that you have a right to, like let's say it's not my house, let's say it's a public place that we all have a right to be in, and I don't have any control over you because it's a public place, and I say you need to leave. Now, I think there's laws against that.
Yeah, but how is that the same as YouTube?
Well, YouTube is protected. They're not. They are a company, but they're not a. It's considered, what do they call that?
So you're saying that if we do something and we post it on YouTube, someone else can't sue YouTube, right?
Right.
Because of
Correct.
something that we did, so they're protected. That's what
Correct, and they subscribe to that protection.
Right.
That's what they live on. Because you imagine if everybody wanted to sue YouTube because of something, they'd be in trouble.
Right, but now if everyone said, okay, now, America landed a lawsuit, I always say, right? So now they can't sue them, but they can just say, hey, we're not going on YouTube anymore because of Jim and Mike. We just can't take them anymore. So YouTube will say, hey, we're losing revenue because of you guys. You guys have to go.
Well, let's put a different comparison, and let's look at it this way. Let's look at the media. Can anybody who wants to go get a spot on the media?
No.
You can't go walk up and say, hey, I want a spot on CNN. I want to be in and say my piece. So therefore, the media has the right to who they want to put on. And if you don't say what they agree with, they don't have to put you on.
Right.
That's the media. So they get to edit. They have an editorial purpose. Now, the social media has become the town square. And this is the argument they're making. It's become the town square where everybody can go down, like in the old days. You can go stand out in the town square. You can hold up your sign. You can protest. You can say whatever the heck you want, as long as you don't infringe on someone else's rights. So their argument is technology. These platforms have become the town square where everyone comes to speak.
Understood.
So once you say who can't say what, you've now become an editor, which is like the media.
I get that. Now,
So
down that town square could be like a Facebook group.
it could be,
Yeah, it could be any media outlet, right? Social media, whatever. It could be any of them. So my thing is, now we're still, when you talk about a town square, okay, now that's something within some certain municipality, right? County,
okay.
city, whatever, state. So my thing is, Facebook is not that. They're not government.
Right. They're a privately owned company.
Right.
Right. Who opened up a platform for all people to speak. And I totally agree with that.
Right.
Like I'm in line with you that I think that company should be able to put whoever they want on there. I
Right.
agree with that. But I also agree that they should not be protected from lawsuits if they choose to do that. Because it's an agreement. Like think about it, a contract. When you sign up for something, you have a contract, right? The terms of service.
Right.
So in order for me to get you on my platform, you have to agree to my terms of service. So
Right.
I sign those. So if somehow I think you breached that terms of service, I can kick you off.
Right.
But what if you think you didn't breach it and I kicked you off unfairly? What can you do to me?
Get a lawyer.
No, you can't.
Get a lawyer and read the contract.
Well, you can, and then they're going to say, well, he's protected because it's against the 230 protects him, and he can't you can't sue him. That's what I'm talking about. It's like I'm okay with people kicking you off the platform, but I'm not okay with them being protected.
Okay, I can side with that.
So, and an even bigger case now is like what we're talking about. Parler. Look at Parler. They used big money establishment to shut an entire competitor down
Yeah.
because what they think the competitor's doing, not what the competitor's doing, what they think the competitor's doing.
Yeah, but what do you think that competitor was doing?
Providing another platform for the people who got kicked off.
Yeah.
But
So-
here's the interesting part, Mike. It's not just the people that got kicked off that went there. It's regular people that were using Twitter that left
Yeah.
because they want a voice.
I don't use Twitter, but I seen it on Facebook where a lot of conservatives, Republicans, whatever, were saying, "Hey, I'm going over to Parler. You know, that's a better platform for us and our movement." And I was like, "Oh, okay, Parler. I remember that."
Right.
Next thing you know, all of these things started happening, and they're like, "Hey, Parler's being shut down." I'm like, "Damn, really?" Now you're saying the establishment, right? The Twitter, the Facebook, they all got together to take them out. And I'm like, they used the government for that.
Well, look at the Hunter Biden thing. Perfect example. Mainstream media included. The internet took the Hunter Biden, the platforms took the Hunter Biden information off. They did.
Right.
It wasn't just mainstream media. Everyone along the line say it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. They did that right before the election, right? Why?
Right.
Because they didn't want the Hillary Clinton repeat.
Right.
So then what happened after the election? Oh, wow, the FBI is doing an investigation. So you tell me what happened there. Like, what do you think happened?
So you think they all conspired to keep it off the air during the election?
You're damn right I do.
Okay.
Doesn't that seem common sense?
Yeah.
So if you have to parse sides, who's on what side of that?
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I just always go back to the private entity doing something. It's
Right.
not the same as the government. So I did not know they were shut down, man. I'm sorry. I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, well, they were shut
They were
down.
successful.
Well, the reason they were successful is because Amazon got onto it. They were hosted by Amazon and even had a contract with Amazon. And there's a lawsuit in it, and this lawsuit's still pending. But Amazon hosted their service and immediately just cut them off. And that actually, Parler is saying Amazon breached their contract because they're supposed to have 30 days to fix their mistakes. But Amazon said they were a threat, inciting violence, and that's why we needed 30,000 troops. So because they were coordinating all this stuff and all these conservatives, it's garbage. The only part I agree with, which I'm learning more about now, which I just missed because remember, you ever heard of QAnon?
No.
And we didn't hear about it before either. I'd never heard of it, but apparently it is some sort of a deep-rooted disinformation kind of thing. But there's also a conspiracy saying that that was intentionally started by people who supported. So it's just so convoluted. But the point is, for normal people like me and you, do you really think it's a good idea to kick people off of any platform?
No, no.
I'd like to know what people are saying. Even if I don't like it, I'd like to know that Mike James is planning to be here at this time to do this. That would be really helpful, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would you want to kick that off?
My thing is, why are you silencing people? It's just like a friend of mine. He always said, when they try to shut down establishments because the boss is racist, I'm like, okay, it shouldn't happen. You should let them, let the market dictate.
Right.
If Jim is truly a racist, let's see how many people go in his restaurant.
Right. But you know what? You know what tempers that, Mike?
What's that?
That they think everybody is racist. So they think it'll never be shut down because everybody who goes there is a racist too then.
Right. And it's not that we like your burgers. It's just...
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why when the whole racism thing comes in, that's why I don't like it. It's not that I don't like to talk about it. I just hate giving it so much credit because it's a no-win situation.
Not all the time, but
no, I understand.
Let's not change the topic.
Right. Good point. Stay on point. Stay on point.
Yeah,
reel me back in, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, I went out there first.
Yeah, you did.
But no, I think any censorship is bad. Is opening up a Pandora's box, if you will, because where is it going to end?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where is it going to end? Because now they're censoring the let's say right, but now when someone else does it to a left wing platform, was supposed to be totally left wing, like Paula is for the right, then someone's going to say, "Oh, that's not fair," and then the right can legitimately say things like, "Hey, what about what happened to Paula? How is that any different?"
Right.
So it's a slippery slope that we're talking about here, and I don't like it, especially when the government gets involved.
And let's be fair. Do you know what the dark web is?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know why that was formed?
If I'm not mistaken, it's because they didn't have a platform, so they created their own, let's say.
What do you think is going to happen when you start silencing people? They're going to go underground, and then they're going to probably have a chip on their shoulder, and then when they come back, they're going to be angry.
Yeah.
Because you didn't give them a voice. How do you feel if somebody doesn't give you a voice?
Right. Everyone should be allowed to speak.
Yeah, even if they say dumb stuff like me, I should still be heard.
Yeah, same here. Same
Right.
here. I don't say anything dumb first and foremost. But,
of course not.
But I'm not always right. I know that was funny. I had to laugh. I had to laugh. But
that was dumb because you are always right.
I know, right? I was like, what the hell? I'm always right. But no, seriously, I truly believe, going back to that slippery slope, that that's a good example how you always use the term the establishment. I think that's a damn good example of that. And I don't have anywhere to go with that one.
Well, I have a hard time. Maybe you can parse this for me because I have a hard time because I don't feel like a true conspiracy theorist, but I do have a lot of distrust for the establishment because I can kind of see where it's been. I mean, I can go all the way back to, was it JFK shot and, do you think it was coincidental that first on TV a president shot? Like, do you think it's coincidence? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get into the conspiracy of the shooting,
right,
but do you think it's a coincidence that this was the first broadcasted one? Like, that was like sending a message. Like, look what can happen.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to say that. I think that was, they did it deliberately to send that message. Like, if you try to go against this is what's going to happen. In broad daylight, we'll take you out.
And I think what people are confused on, because they're hung up on these labels, this isn't like a Republican Democratic thing, because we can go to George Bush, weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Whether there were or not, you were getting one story.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you were getting was one story. You were never getting the real information because it was controlled. So it's not the Democrats, the Republicans, it's the establishment.
Yeah, but the Democrats and the Republicans. I see. You're not talking about everyday Americans. You're talking about politicians.
Correct. You're talking about politicians. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. 100%. I agree.
I don't even, I'll be honest with you, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I don't even think labeling yourself a Republican or Democrat even means anything anymore.
No, I think it's getting to that point, but um, it's not there yet.
Right. But you
Yeah.
see how it could be easily, and even that, I don't want to go back down the racial path again, but I mean, with so many interracial marriages, children, like even race is going to become obsolete. So I don't know why we're still holding on to all this us them mentality. Like, I don't understand.
I can't be like you, Jim, and you can't be like me. We have to be different.
But maybe our kids can.
I think that the kids are the smartest ones.
Well, my kids are half Hispanic. I mean, they're still white, I think. Hispanics
Right.
are white, right?
Yeah, they don't have no African in them.
Right,
They put that on the census. You see that, right?
right, right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the new thing, right? If we had so much, if white privilege was so great, why are all these people pretending not to be white?
I think it's that right there in itself, and we could do a show on that. I think that was deliberate.
We're going down a rabbit hole,
Yeah,
aren't
we are.
we?
We
Yeah.
are. We are.
Reel it on back.
Yeah, reel it on back into Parlor. What were you saying about Parlor now? Yeah, but
Well, I was
no.
saying the censoring is really getting bad. The silencing and the media is
Yeah,
playing a huge part in it.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's to me that's where it all begins. The media is that weapon or the vessel that the establishment or politicians, let's say, whatever, they use to get their points across.
You don't think it's scary though? Like it just scares me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've been to combat, and but this scares me that American people are watching a station like CNN say that Fox News is inciting riots and doing all this, when literally anybody can watch CNN. And see, this is one of the things I was going to use as my pull the pin, but I'm going to pull it out now. I'm really tired of people being lazy. And what I mean by lazy is like they watch CNN, they hear something and they believe it. Like literally, you can watch CNN from a week ago and disprove it. Or you can actually go find the information that CNN is not telling you and see they're lying. And I'm not saying Fox doesn't lie. That's not my point here. I'm not trying to pick one side. I'm saying that the establishment using the media is lying to us, and people are so lazy. I can't say they're lazy. That's not fair. They appear so lazy that they're not even willing to look for the real information because CNN's not going to give it to you. You got to go find it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think what we're missing here is the average American really doesn't have all that time.
Agreed.
When I was overseas and I used to be knee deep in politics, and you couldn't tell me anything. I just love debating, whatever. But I had a lot of time on my hand to do a lot of research, and it was two people. One was my brother, and the other was a good friend of mine, Joe, who said, and no, it's not him, but who said, hey, when you get back, you're not going to be so into politics the way you are. And I was like, nah, man, nah, I have to be. Someone has to start change. Change has to begin somewhere. And they said, nah, you're going to have a regular job, family and everything. You're not going to have that much time. Lo and behold, when I got back, yeah, they were absolutely right. So I try to think that the average American is working and they have enough time to just go to that one source, whether it be Fox, CNN, MSNBC, whatever. You
That's
know?
a good point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna modify my answer, and that's why I was really hesitant to call them lazy because I do understand
Right.
that. But I guess I'm gonna modify it. So if you don't have the time to research the truth about what you're being told, then you shouldn't have the time to argue about what you don't know.
Yeah, but I think another thing that we're missing there is they do believe they know. They do believe that they're being told the truth.
But that's my point. Like if you were to walk into a classroom and a professor said, the Earth actually is flat, and you're like, oh my God, it's flat. Are you leaving that classroom and then telling everybody it's flat and arguing with them?
No, I think that's a bad example, first and
Bad
foremost.
example. All right.
But no,
Why?
I think I
Because
get.
it's not flat.
Yeah, exactly. Because no, and plus you're just in now. If CNN said that, and then I go out there and I repeat it as fact, then I think that supports what you're saying.
But what's the difference between CNN and your professor? Don't you trust them both?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, let me ask you: shouldn't it be assumed that you're getting the most trusted news and the most educated teachers.
Yeah, it can be. No, but a teacher is a teacher about a certain topic. Now, this is just me. I don't look at them as someone who knows any and everything about social issues. Let's say.
Sure.
So if the topic is geography or whatever, and I have a teacher in there saying that the world is actually flat, then I'm like, okay, where does it say that? Get the textbook out.
Well, and see, that's the attitude I'm talking about. That's what I think people are missing. I mean, when did we stop questioning things? I know my kids question everything. Like, well, why do I gotta do that? Why are you doing it? Like, when did we stop? Why did we just...
I think that's why I said the smartest people on the planet to me are the kids. You get what I'm saying? And it's because they still have that inquisitive nature about them, that challenging nature. You know,
Right.
they say, "Oh, you can't do that. Why not? What the hell is wrong with that?" Literally, that's what they say, right? So, but us, we're so hell bent on these labels that if I'm about to go down this rabbit hole, but if someone said, if I say I'm a Republican, they're gonna say, "How can you side with those what racists?" Right? How can you side with them? Or if someone said, if I said I'm a diehard Democrat, man, how liberal? Really? How can you? They don't care about nothing. So now you have these labels you're gonna attach yourself to. That's why we just stay in our little box. That's it.
Right.
You know, title it whatever you want, and because if I go to the other side, now I'm taking a chance on being called something worse.
Right, but all it takes is like, hey, let's have a conversation and we see where you stand, and we'll probably agree on a lot of things.
Absolutely, and everybody.
But people aren't even, they're not even asking why, or not saying, hey, I need to find out more. Hey, I need to know what this is about. They're just running their mouths like,
yeah.
I've done it once or twice.
It's like if somebody, like you said, they hear something and then they swallow it, regurgitate it as if it's the truth.
Right. And obviously we're not talking about all people, but
Right.
we're talking about what's creating this chaos and stuff like that.
And that's it, chaos. That's a good word. Chaos.
And it's created.
Yeah.
It's created. It's like there doesn't need to be chaos.
Right, but it's that old divide and conquer.
Right. And the establishment.
And they win.
You know why they win? They've been doing this for years.
Exactly.
They're professionals.
Exactly. But people don't want to see that. And that's why when I hear guys like you or even Tony or even Mike, and they say, well, you know what, my views are more libertarian, but they ain't got a shot in hell, so I just got to choose. And I'm like, that's why I was about to say we, but that's why they never have a shot, because no one wants to jump off that ship.
Right.
And take
Well, there's mathematics behind that too, and I've heard those too. You know, that like even if everybody thought they should vote libertarian, the Democrats would win because people aren't going to change Democrat to libertarian.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what the whole principle is behind it. But anyways, we're going to head down more rabbit holes, and we're going to move this one along. So let's go to our newest segment that we're going to do. We're going to jump into what?
What is that?
We're going to jump into a little COVID update because this is controlling our lives.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
You heard any updates?
Yeah. Now, remember how I learned about the 14 days down to 10?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 7.
7
days quarantine. Can you believe that?
Is that because of the vaccine or the science or some new study?
Wasn't said specifically why, but now it's down to 7 days quarantine.
Oh, so they don't have to tell you why. You just tell you it's 7 days now and we accept it. Because the WHO said it, right?
That's right.
The WHO said it, right?
Yeah.
Or Fauci. Dr. Fauci said it.
Yeah.
So now I got to believe it.
Yeah, he said it. But have you heard anything?
Well, it's interesting because I see some states are starting to open up. Some schools are starting to go back full time. And yet I still see the news talking about all these cases and massive numbers. And so I'm really confused. I see athletes, hockey teams having seasons postponed because they got 10, 12 people with the... What's going on? So I don't know if we really have an update.
Are we going back to normal, or... And if so, how can we, with all these cases, the amount of cases going up? I don't get it.
Well, do you think it's time for a rescued and have a hero? Is it time to have a hero to save us from COVID?
Yes.
Whether we get saved or not, we need a hero, right?
We need one. We need one. That's why we have the vaccine, though, right?
Good thing our president is pushing through the vaccine and some other measures to get us saved from COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So That's our
doing
COVID
everything he
update.
can.
Because
Yep,
nobody else could have achieved that. And it's a good thing that Dr. Fauci's on his team now because he's the one that can orchestrate it now.
that's it.
He can pull us out of this.
Yeah, double mask. He
Yeah,
might
double.
yeah, give him another
Yeah.
month. It's gonna be triple.
Well, he couldn't do it with anybody else, but he could do it now. Now he can do it.
Yeah.
It's almost fitting. 47 years of politics. Now he can help the country.
Now.
Fauci's got 40, probably 40 some odd years of. Now he can help us with COVID too. I get it.
Dynamic duo.
It works, man. It works.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's our COVID update. So why don't we move into our real favorite segment? Pull the pin already, and you all know what this is about because you've been watching us forever. So you got something, Mike?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. You want me to go first?
Sure, I don't have anything.
I mean, we could have a vote. You know, if I vote me first, never mind. I'll go first anyway. Be a silly vote unless we both agree with me.
Yeah.
I want to pull the pin on. I don't know if I said this before, and I'm going to be embarrassed because Mike does this, and I like to pride myself on not doing it, but I could be a complete idiot. Did I talk about the Apple text message feature?
Sure did.
I sure did, didn't I?
I should have said no.
You should have said no because you know what? It happened again. It happens every day so much it bugs the crap out of me. But I'll go the other route. I'll go the other social media, the Facebook.
Okay.
It's similar. It's similar to the Apple thing with the liking the stuff. It's a lazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Facebook birthday thing. Like I thank God it's there because some people I don't have time to keep track of their birthdays. But what do? Click, click. Happy birthday. Oh, you really thought of me. Thank you, 382 people for thinking of me. No, they didn't think of you. It showed up on their feed. It just does that. So although I appreciate the reminder, it's so lazy and disingenuous. I don't like it. We need to do away with it. Pull the pin. Done with that one.
Wow. So you get a reminder about someone's birthday, you go in there and say, hey, happy birthday. Otherwise, you would have forgotten about it. So you're comfortable with that, you're saying?
No. The people who I want to say happy birthday to are in my calendar because I care about when their birthday is.
Okay.
Facebook tells me when their birthday is
Mm.
because they told Facebook. Is
Got
that
it.
a friend? Is it a friend who has to trust Facebook to tell them when your birthday is?
Well, I think that's just something Facebook does. I don't think like
All
people
right.
put their birthdays in there to say, hey, I want all these people to be reminded about, it's my birthday. I don't
What if
think
you don't want to be? What if you don't want nobody to know it's your birthday?
I don't think you have to put your birthday in there.
Bingo. So there you go. Move on with your pull the pin. I did mine.
Well, I really don't have anything, but there's always something that's near and dear to my heart. And this time, it's going to be. I don't know if I can really talk about this. No, I can't. I can't because this might get us kicked off of YouTube.
Go for it. Go for it. We got Rumble. I already told everybody subscribe on Rumble.
What is Rumble? Real
It's
quick.
another platform.
It's like
It's not. People might get a little frustrated because it's not like YouTube. They don't have the backing of Google money.
mhm.
But it is growing, and it's up to the people to help it grow so that it can make more money, so that we can see features like we do on YouTube on Rumble.
Oh, okay.
So
All
it's
right.
just another platform.
But real quick, something near and dear to my heart, man, what I want to pull the pin on is celebrating any and everything. First you have birthdays. I think we talked about this before, but you have birthdays, right? It's a birthday. I mean, it probably take the average person, 2 minutes to come out that canal there. How did that turn into birth month? I don't
Mike,
get it.
Mike, I just want you to take a moment and breathe, and think about you telling all the women out there who birthed the child that 2 minutes or something.
No, I mean, let's be honest, man. Like my wife, she's always talking about, she carried the twins. I'm like, you only did it for 7 months. What's up? You only did it for 7 months. It wasn't
It was
even
9 months.
Huh? No, it was 7.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's it. And but
How
anyway,
lazy can she be? Like she couldn't even wait the last 2 months? Like, come on.
yeah. But like when you talk about the birthday, first it started out birthday, then it's a birthday weekend, then it's like birthday week, and now it's literally for the birthday month. I'm like, damn, I have to get you something for every single day now. That's not gonna work, man. So you have a birthday. Matter of fact, I say it's whatever time of day you were born. That's when you get your present
Birth
on
minute.
present, right? Yeah, birth minute, and that's when you came out. Hey, happy birth minute for this day, and then that's it. That's the way it should be, man. All this birthday weekend, all this crap. I don't agree with it, man. Pull the pin on it.
I think life should be a celebration. You should celebrate every day. But
Oh, here we go. Now birth year. Okay.
but I agree with you because it's almost like Kamala Harris celebrating Kwanzaa when she was a kid, even though it wasn't a thing back then.
And
But
that's all we have.
that is all the time we have for this episode. We hope you come back for more. We hope we didn't scare you away. We hope you see us on Rumble as well as YouTube and all the other social media we're on. And thank you. Until then, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.